If you believe in the separation of church and state embodied in the First Amendment, then listen closely to a new United States Supreme Court oral argument that's scheduled for Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be doing a live transmission of that, a live feed of that oral argument, because what hangs in the balance, and I'm not putting too fine a point on this, whatever last remaining bricks in the wall between separation of church and state that haven't already been demolished by the United States Supreme Court over the last 7 or 8 years, hang in the balance during this case. Now, the only thing we got going for us, those that believe that the state, the federal government, federal funding should stay out of religion, neither establish it, neither promote it nor establish it. Be neutral. Let people pray to whoever they want to pray to or pray to no one at all. If you believe in that as the foundations of our society, then listen to this twist of fate, because Amy Coney Barrett has recused herself without comment from sitting on the dais. We could end up 4-4. And if it's 4-4, then the Oklahoma Supreme Court decision, which found that the St. Isidore of Seville Catholic School should not receive federal funding because it would violate the Establishment Clause of the Constitution, would remain in place on a 4-4 tie. For some people, it's their life work to try to get religious organizations to be able to operate charter schools with federal funding, including Amy Coney Barrett before she got on the bench. And the reason that she's recused herself is obvious, because the lawyers that are representing the St. Isidore School are, wait for it, from Notre Dame's Religious Liberty Center, run by one of her closest friends, Nicole Garrett, Professor Garrett. And I know people that know her, it's like, oh, poor Professor Garrett, her life's work may come down to a 4-4 tie. Good. I'll continue to follow it right here on Legal AF. As a reminder, 2 things. See, we're going to be bringing on these oral arguments at the Supreme Court level here in our community as part of our fellowship, as part of Teachable Moments. If you subscribe to Legal AF, help us get over that 600,000 subscriber threshold this week, then you'll get reminders about things at the intersection of law and politics, including our live feed. Go to the live section tab. Boom, there it is. Set your reminders, 10 a.m. tomorrow. 1 hour, probably go closer to 2 hours. Now let's back up and take a look at what's going on here. St. Isidore of Seville Charter School wants money from the federal government to run its Catholic program, its catechism, its program using federal funds. This violates, in my view, and those of most people that watch the court closely and are constitutional scholars in their own right, this violates the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. We shouldn't be in the business of using taxpayer dollars to give somebody Catholic education. Now, the Trump administration, of course, to curry favor with the Christian and Catholic right, have stepped in and filed their own brief, right, which said that, oh, a parent in Oklahoma or anywhere else shouldn't have to choose between religious study and federal dollars. I say they should. I say they should. Now, the argument there is if you're poor or of moderate means, you can't afford to send your kid to a Catholic school, but there's scholarship and tuition programs. Let private sector step in and set up scholarships. Let the law firms that are bending over for Donald Trump, let the Amazons and the Facebooks pay to send kids to private school and Catholic school. Just don't let my taxpayer dollars used for Catholic education when that doesn't align with my values, my morals, my gospel, or my lack of gospel. Now, the Supreme Court over the last 5 or 6 years, and it's been supercharged since Amy Coney Barrett has been on the court with her strong Catholic beliefs, having been a longtime professor at the University of Notre Dame. They have worked to implement the Heritage Foundation Federalist Society beliefs that they want to allow more religion into civic life, more religion into government affairs, more religion into the public domain, the public sphere. We who believe in the very foundations of our constitutional republic think that's wrong. But the Supreme Court, in a series of decisions, I could reel off 5 or 6 of them for you right now, have allowed for prayer in all different places, including in schools. Flag flying, religious flag flying in all different places. The 10 Commandments in public spaces. And now we're talking about using your and my hard-earned taxpayer dollars to pay for somebody else's religious education. Now, if because you're Christian or Catholic, you're finding this discussion a little bit on the nose, so to speak, just insert another religion, if you're not of that religion. Just whenever I said Catholic, just say Jewish or Muslim or Hindu or, fill in the blank, or Baha'i or whatever you want to fill in the blank there with, or maybe a witchcraft, okay? Or maybe a Seventh-day Adventist or Jehovah Witness or Mormon or Scientology or fill in the blank. And I don't want my taxpayer dollars, and you shouldn't either under the First Amendment, going for any of those things, And those institutions should set up scholarship funds to allow these 200 people that want to go to the Saint Isidore of Seville, and apparently this is online anyway, it's a virtual school anyway, to go get education somewhere. Now, by fortuitous happenstance, the life work of Amy Coney Barrett before she became a Supreme Court justice was in this religious sphere. But she decided about 2 months ago that she was going to step off and not sit for this oral argument or decide this case. I am sure it is because Nicole Garrett, her fellow professor at the Notre Dame Law School's Religious Liberty Center, is involved with the briefing and maybe even will be arguing the case. And so she doesn't want to be seen. I give her a lot of credit for that, because I will assure you, if Associate Justice Alito, who's a big, big Catholic, if he had a similar issue, he would not step off. He hasn't stepped off. Gorsuch hasn't stepped off when he's known people or been close to people who have been advocating. Clarence Thomas's wife doesn't step off decisions where she's actually, and her organizations have filed briefs and have business before the court. So to see, as when it comes to the religious sphere, at least Amy Coney Barrett being her own person, we've said it before on Legal AF, we'll say it again. She is the centrist on the Supreme Court. She's the one that if she was there, you have to aim for as an advocate. She's center right. She's right of center, but that's the vote you have to get. See, Trump he's got almost an assured 4 votes in his back pocket. Gorsuch, Alito, Thomas, and Kavanaugh, right? We have, on the Democrat moderate side, 3 votes religiously, regularly, no pun intended. We've got Ketanji Brown Jackson, Kagan, and Sotomayor. 2 in the middle are Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett. And we have to get both of them to count to 5 to have a winning decision. So you have to get the 5 out of 9. And they only need 1 of the 2, right? They need to bat 500. We have to run the table. So now with Amy Coney Barrett stepping out, court watchers and church watchers are upset because they think, Professor Garrett's been working her life to get religious organizations to run charter schools, and now it's going to be 4-4 because of Amy Coney Barrett. Oh, tough. Now, what would happen if it's 4-4? First of all, I'm not sure how it would certainly be 4-4. I mean, that would mean they think Roberts is going to side with the moderates. Roberts may. I've seen him also move very quickly to eliminate the barrier between church and state. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that it's 5-4. It could just as easily be 5-3 instead of 4-4. 5-3 against overturning the Oklahoma decision by their Supreme Court. See, even Oklahoma Supreme Court, which is pretty red, thought that this was a violation of church and state. So I think from a betting person, from setting the odds here like it's some sort of sports betting, I think it's 50-50. I think it's 50-50 that it's either going to be 4-4 or 5-3. And we're going to have to see. I think if Amy Coney Barrett there, I think it would have been a pretty good shot. It would have been at least they would have had the 5 votes. I do believe that. Because I think she would have joined with Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, Thomas, and Alito in doing that. And now, there's that vagary, that uncertainty. One place I want you to be is here on Legal AF. I want you to be here on Legal AF for our live feed, 10 a.m. on Wednesday, here. We're going to do this all the time. Then I'll jump on and do some commentary about it. You'll hear all 8 justices, at least the ones that want to talk. You'll hear the advocates. You'll hear how the issue is framed. It might make you mad. It might make you sad. It might make you happy. Write in comments. I'll try to jump on and join you and try to answer some questions as we go along. But that's where we're at here on Legal AF. Take a moment. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button. Till my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. I'm Michael Popok, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popok Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popok Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popok Firm today at 1-877-POPOK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopokfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popok Firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.